Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pro Antagonist channel. We're gonna do Fall 2023 new anime tier list, episodes 1 and 2 reaction. This is part 1 of that, and that's a mouthful, but essentially what this all is. If you're not familiar, I go through, I rate anime from tiers on the tier list, on these tiers. I rate these anime from S to D, and I do it from basically watching the first two episodes of an anime. Generally speaking, there's a couple exceptions to that we will of course get into, but of course these anime, they're all like anime from the season, but they have to be new anime. That's the criteria for this list, or one of the two criteria. New anime. Nothing's come out before it. It's not a season 2. It's not a spin-off really or anything like that. Also, if it had 5,000 freaking watchers on my anime list, that's the other criteria. So we've got 35 anime out of this list. There's 35 of them. We're going to do 14 of them today, since I'm taking all this time to explain them to you and everything like that. I figure that basically, number one, right off the bat, we go through this methodology here, and what I think that is the best way to categorize these anime is when you go through and you watch them, and it's like, one anime is good. All right, it's good. I'll consider watching this more. One anime is really good. And it's like, well, I'm definitely watching this. I'm probably gonna watch the whole thing. And then one anime is like meh, because sometimes anime are good, but you don't really realize it until after a couple episodes, or you get like taken in by episode 1, and then episode 2 is just not as good because it's a pilot. They try to get people excited from episode 1, and then episode 2 is kind of meh. We're doing this 2 episode rule because 2 episodes usually will tell you whether or not you're going to like an anime, or at least how to feel about it going in, whether or not you'd want to watch it. And so we're going to do 2 episode rule. Later on, obviously, I'm going to try and do the halfway tier list, and that's going to be a doozy, since I'm not even completely done watching all of these 35 anime, 2 episodes of each anime. That's 70 episodes of anime. I'm like halfway or more through it, but we're going to go through 14 different anime, effectively speaking. This one, Kamarabi whatever thingamajig, dropping it because it was like, I see, this is the thing. It's the one thing you got to understand about me. I don't like wasting time for no reason. And when an anime gets rated like 5.0 out of 10 on Mal, that means it's usually really crap. So it's possible I could have gone and watched this and gotten anything from it. It looked like it was going to be deep. It looked like it was garbage. 5.0 is really bad. So I decided to just drop that one off the bat, especially since it didn't look that interesting. I just threw it up there because it happened to qualify for that 5,000. And 5,000 being at the beginning of the season, because like a month in or so, most of these anime are all past 5,000. Not cutting out the crap at the bottom even. I will survive using potions. This is like a girl gets isekai'd, and then she's like, "No, I'm gonna lawyer this." She like it was funny because she got like auto killed by the god of her world or something. Like she just got torn in half randomly. It's like, "Oops, sorry, I didn't mean that. What can I do for you?" It's like, "Send me to a new world where I have an overpowered ability." And then she decided to ask the goddess of the world or whatever. It's like, "Yo, I got this. I can make any potion to do anything." And that's my overpowered ability. And that's actually kind of overpowered because you can do a lot of things with potions, probably. I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. I've been 2 episodes into this. It's actually really good. Charming in a way. Kind of basic, but the storyline is good enough to where I feel like, it's not incredibly boring. And I'll probably put it. I'll put it in C tier because I'm see what happens. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I actually think it's pretty good. I wouldn't probably recommend it to everybody though, but it is an anime. It's decent enough, and I think I'll continue watching it. Who Nelly? This is gonna be a long one. Let's see. We'll go for I guess the family circumstances of the irregular witch. This one is not bad. It's kind of cute, but it's like derpy cute. Like it's like this witch girl. She finds a little kid, and then her little kid grows up to be an adult, and she looks like an adult, and this kid still looks like a kid, and it's kind of adorable, but not like the substance of the story isn't amazing necessarily. Next, Overtake. This one, I think this one was Overtake. I'm pretty sure. Don't at me, chat. Um, But this one was like guy photographies, and then he finds cars and people that like to drive cars, and he's enamored by the people who really like to drive cars, and that's basically the whole damn anime. It's not particularly great. I'm not like enthused about it, and so I'm gonna say drop immediately, just because it's like I mean it's not probably as bad as the other one, but it's still not that fun. Like it seems like the kind of anime that honestly, if you really liked cars and Formula One racing, because that's what this guy was taking pictures of and everything, maybe you'd really enjoy it. But he's just kind of like lost nonce in the world, looking for cars to take pictures of. I guess I don't know. I watched it a little bit. I wasn't enthused. It didn't interest me remotely. All right, guys, my daughter left the nest and returned an S rank adventurer. It's supposed to be wholesome, but it just winds up being stupid and kind of not that interesting. Like basically, what happens is this daughter, she's like an S rank adventurer. She's like a really good protagonist girl who's very plain and basic, and she loves her dad, and her dad loves her, and shenanigans I guess ensue. Maybe I don't know. Like the first two episodes, I was not remotely like this anime is boring as shit on a shingle. Don't watch it. I wouldn't recommend. 10 out of 10 don't recommend. Um a girl and her guard dog. This one is actually kind of interesting. So I'll put this in B, a girl and her guard dog. Basically a girl, like she loses her parents and everything, but like this yakuza dude, because her parents were like affiliated with the yakuza or something, and this dude is like, I'm gonna protect you and everything, and I'm gonna be really like overprotective parent in some ways, and then she's trying to break free of him, but there's like an underlying romance between this girl and the guy who's been watching her whole life, and it's very strange, and I don't know how to feel about it, but the story is interesting enough, and I'll keep watching. It's the kind of one where I think the romance aspect is gonna be weird. It's gonna be really weird, but it like I don't know. I don't know. I have trouble with these sometimes because it's like I don't know. It's not wholesome. It doesn't feel. It's like it's trying to be wholesome, but in some sense, it's not really, because this guy's been watching her since she was a little kid, and she has the romantic feels for him, and maybe he has the same back, and too much. She wants to be a normal girl, but he's like, no, you cannot be normal girl, because normal girls go and get destroyed by random dudes, get grabbied and things like that, and you can't do that. So it's gotta be something. It's gotta be something, guys. I don't know. Well, this one's a big pile of oive. I actually really like this one. I'm giving the girl I rescued a crash course in mischievousness and naughtiness or whatever like that. Basically, this guy, he's like a failed adventurer mage who got, well, not failed, but like successful, but he got betrayed by his friends, I guess, according to him. And then he's in the woods and he's off on his own, not really talking to anybody. And this girl, she's been like conditioned to be like a battered housewife, but without the kids. Um, and without I mean, she had a fiance and all that, but she's just like, oh, I'll do just whatever. Oh, it's everything's my fault. Oh, I'm just gonna be like happy with everything. And then she gets framed, and she has to run away from her kingdom area, and then he finds her and he rescues her from the soldiers, and he's like, this girl doesn't have any idea how to not be just like proper and listen to other people. She can't do anything of her own like accord and will and everything. So I'm gonna teach her how to be naughty, and it's like naughty meaning like, I'm gonna eat all the dessert. I love it because it's like naughtiness. That's a loaded term. It's like I'm gonna teach her how to eat all the dessert. I'm gonna teach her to punch punching bags, and it's like, what the hell, man? This is basic bitch shit. But I guess this kid, she never learned. She never learned. The Demon Master of Excalibur Academy thing, it's not terrible. I'll give it a C tier. I mean, it's the kind of one where I'll watch it. I'll think maybe, because this guy gets like, he gets like 10-year-old carnated, and he's like at the fantasy place, and he does the fantasy things, and it's not bad, but it's not good. Like it's like not like, oh my gosh, I'm blown away by this, but it's also not terrible. So I'll go ahead and watch it. I'll give it a try. I'll tell you more what I think about it later. But first impression, for the first two episodes, C tier. I'm not blown away, but it's probably gonna be good. Like basically, what happens? They find him, and he's like a demon king, but he gets reincarnated as a 10-year-old, and then they take him back with them to their school, and he's like helping them and stuff. It's got a little bit of ecchi moments, and it's like, all right, it's not bad. It's not bad. Oh boy, doing 35 of these in 2 episodes is a lot. We're gonna have Ragna Crimson. Basically, B tier it. I'll just say B tier right off the bat. This guy, he's traveling with this girl who he admires because she's really good in fights and everything, and he's helping to take care of her along the way in a very wholesome way, not weird or creepy. But then he can't do it. He gets like visions of himself from the future saying that he's gonna lose this girl who's like amazing and really super spectacular and powerful. And then this girl, she ends up like getting demolished in combat and almost dying, but you know, she gets saved by this guy because his future self, who has been like all hell bent on all this stuff, he ends up sending his power back to the past to go and save her. This is actually the first episode of the anime because it's like a double special. It's like 47 minutes long, so it's not like a normal 23, 24. But anyway, double special, whatever. This thing, the pilot kind of blew me away in some ways. Like, I'd put it above this other stuff because really it's like this dude came back from the past. Like, he's a broken man. Like, all of his everything got sent into young version of himself, where he's not as strong and everything, and this is after he's lost everything he loves, and it's kind of the one that I would say is like maybe a sleeper for the season, really. Shangri-La Frontier. This one is isekai, but the dude is like wearing a bird mask and an outfit because he's made himself like a luck speed stat character. Basically, what this dude, he's used to playing all these junk games and kicking the crap out of them, and he's like, yo, what is this game? The game person at the store is like, yo, bro, guess what? You know, all these VR systems that are like immersive and everything, why did you play like a good game that other people play, like actually play, and not garbage that's basically not able to keep up with the headset? And he's like, wow, I never thought of it that way. Let's play a good game for once. And then he's playing this Shangri-La Frontier or whatever. And it's funny and enjoyable in a way. It seems like the characters kind of like the campy fun humor that anime have to offer. I'm really interested because this might be a decent isekai. And I don't hate isekai, even though there are like a bajillion of them. Some of them are way better than others. This one could be way better, but nothing thus far has been big banger until this guy. 100 Girlfriends Who really love you. This one is maybe one of the masterpieces of the season. Basically, what happens? Big energy plays here. This main character, harem protagonist dude, he gets rejected. He goes and asks women out. He gets rejected 100 times right before he enters high school. And it's like, how's that even happen? You know, he's gotten rejected 100 times for whatever reason. It's just like, yo, it's not meant to be. That's what he went to the shrine, and a god appeared to him, and he said, yo, I was watching TV this one time, and I was trying to give it a really good score. And when I was writing like how many soulmates you're gonna have on the piece of paper, I wrote 100 by accident instead of 1 because I was giving the TV show 100 out of 100 because it was really good. I just had to review it, and I accidentally wrote on your paper, and oops, you have 100 soulmates now, and it's really bad because usually people with more than one soulmate, like if you lose your soulmate, if you don't actually like get intertwined with your soulmate, you'll have really bad luck. Maybe you'll even die. And so this guy meets already in the first episode like 2 of his soulmate girls, and they're I know this is a long explanation. They're like both instantly attracted to him and competing with each other. They meet him at the same time, the exact same time, and it's a very funny thing of like how complicated, just like, let's try and be in a relationship with 2 girls at once. Just how complicated this is, how funny. This is one of the funniest anime I've watched in a long time, and really it's why it gets the S tier. It's not like the plot is not over convolutedly like deep or anything. It's just hilarious. It's just really good. Definitely watch 100%. 10 out of 10. Well, I don't know yet. Maybe 9 out of 10, but S tier anime, definitely. All right, guys. few more anime here. Our dating story, the inexperienced you and the experienced me. I'll put this at A tier. I actually kind of like this one, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So basically, very deep and kind of cool romantic anime. This is what I kind of wait for in a season. This is what you're waiting for. This is what you've been hoping for that would happen and all that. Basically, 100% let's go energy. This guy gets he loses a bet with his friends. He said, I'm gonna get the lowest score because they all suck, and they're like, no, we're gonna get the lowest score. We're all terrible dorks who play video games all the time and just watch streaming, watch people stream on Twitch. These guys, his friends, get like garbage ass juice test scores, and he gets like C's, and it's like, yo, you're too smart. No, the loser has to do whatever the winner says, and he's the loser because he got the highest score. Because they're all like, we're terrible. Who's the most terrible? And so the one with the worst scores is like, yo, you got to go find your crush and ask her out. And this guy had a crush on this really hot Gyaru girl who's like, seems very easy and everything. And he asks her out, and she ends up saying yes because she happens to be single at the time. And his friends are like completely devastated. This backfired on them very hard because they were being assholes, trying to get him to be like rejected and feel as bad as they do. I can't believe his friends are that shitty. That's like the worst. But this guy is starting to learn more about this girl, and it's like, well, maybe she's easy only because like she thought she had to be, and all of this other really deep stuff. And it's like, she's trying to run fast in her life and be like her parents, and because her parents found each other in middle school or some shit and got married, and then she was like, no, I don't know, because all these guys, they seem interested in me, but I'm like, I thought that sex was just a thing you did. So this girl's very experienced, and this man is not experienced, and he's trying to be very nice and gentlemanly to try and give her a good time, and that's like the kind of crap that I live for. So we'll go 100% 10 out of 10 with that. How about Undead Unluck? This is another S tier. Another S tier one. Undead Unluck. Basically what happens, this girl is so unlucky, like if she is having any kind of physical contact with people, they end up getting very, very unlucky and usually die. Like, she kissed her parents goodbye when she was a little kid. They went on a plane. The plane engines exploded and killed all 370 passengers, including her parents, in a grisly and disgusting fire. And that was kind of the sad. But then she finds this zombie dude. Now I'm going at 1,000,000 miles per hour, but zombie dude here, he can't really die because he like regenerates like no one's business. Like Deadpool, times 11. Like, this guy regenerates at a very fast, very, very fast pace, and he can kind of like just like shoot his legs out and just glide in the air. He can fly because he can regenerate so fast that he's gushing blood at high intense velocity. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, yo, what if like, because I want to die, what if I'm able to die by figuring out how your power works? And she's like, I already kind of know how it works. It's like, kisses are the worst. And then he's like, oh well, I guess then I'll have to make you fall for me so that you actually do the deed and see if you can actually destroy me. Like, all of the unluck unleashed on me at the same time gets destroyed. And honestly, it's just a funny, like, the really, really funny anime premise. I'm happy with it. The comedy is there. There's a lot of good depth and story development and characters. I'm all here for it. All right, really quick, last one for today. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This one I'll put as an A tier. I'll put it like lower A tier. So this one, basically, this girl, she outlives all her colleagues because she was like an elf mage, and all of her adventurer friends were human and dwarfy people. They don't have as long of lifespans, so she ends up like outliving all of them after they defeat the Demon King and save the world or whatever. And she's trying to figure out what to do, and it's like, she's so sad because her friends are dead, and she's like, she's missed their entire lives, and she feels so guilty about it because she just kind of like, I'm just coming back one day, and 50 years have passed. Oh, well, that's like your whole lifetime. And she ends up taking in this apprentice girl who was working for one of the dudes, who was like one of the people on the team. I think he was like the healer guy, the cleric. And she was the mage, and so she's trying to teach this girl how to be a mage and do all of those things, and she's trying to like she's trying to overcome her grief and her guilt about losing her friends to time, and it's very sad and it's very heartful in a lot of ways. I think it's actually not like it is not probably as good as the ratings have it based on what people say, but it's still pretty good. I think it's like worth watching if you're interested in something that's just a good story. Basically, here's what I'll say about these 14 so far. All right, guys. Top 2 definitely give a watch. Next 3 give a watch if you're interested. B row maybe good. I'll have to come back to those later. Some of those might be better than others. C row, it's all right. Like it's not bad. D row, I wouldn't even bother. But maybe if you like racing, if you like really wholesome daddy-daughter stories that have no meat or substance or anything, you know. And then the other one is like 5 out of 10. I would not watch an anime that got a 5 out of 10 average on Mal. 5.0. It's just too trash probably. But anyway, those 14 anime. We got 21 next week. Oh boy. Have a happy Halloween and have fun, everybody. I'm gonna watch like what is it, 14 times, or sorry, 35, 70. I'm gonna have watched 70 episodes of anime by the end of this, and hopefully you guys appreciate it. Definitely be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Sorry the editing won't be as good on this one, but I had to really crank this stuff out. Hopefully you guys enjoy. We'll probably have a better time next season because I hope we don't have 35 freaking entries on this list. And yeah, sayonara, goodbye.